there, job seekers! Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's crucial for anyone looking to land their dream job. Crafting the perfect resume. We're talking about a resume that doesn't just sit there on the hiring manager's desk, it jumps out and grabs their attention. Now, you might be thinking, Graham, isn't a resume just a boring old document? And yeah, a lot of them are. But trust me, yours doesn't have to be one of them. We're going to break down the process step by step so you can create a resume that showcases your skills, experience, and makes you stand out from the competition. So grab a pen and paper and let's get started. Before you even open up that Word document and start typing away, we need a game plan. Think of this like investing. You wouldn't just throw your money into a random stock without doing your research, right? The same goes for your resume. First things first. Research the specific job you're applying for and the company itself. I'm talking about really digging deep here. Understand what they do, their company culture, their values. You want to show them you've done your homework, and you're not just sending out generic applications. Next, pay close attention to the job description. This is where you'll find those golden keywords I mentioned earlier. Look for the specific skills and experience they're looking for, and make sure those are highlighted throughout your resume. Remember, a lot of companies use applicant tracking systems, ATS, to filter through resumes, so using the right keywords is key to getting your resume seen by actual human eyes. Now I know what you're thinking, Graham, shouldn't I just stuff my resume with keywords? Listen, I get it, you want to get past those bots, but trust me, quality over quantity here. You want to weave those keywords naturally into your resume, showcasing how your skills and experience align with what they're looking for. Think of it like this. You're telling your story, but you're using the language they understand. Alright, let's talk about the first thing a hiring manager sees on your resume, your contact information. This might seem like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how many people mess this up. This section needs to be crystal clear and professional. At the very top of your resume, include your full name, phone number, and a professional-sounding email address. None of that Party Animal 2000 stuff, alright? Keep it simple, something that uses your name ideally. Now, you might be thinking, Graham, should I include my home address? Honestly, it's not really necessary these days. Most communication happens online anyway. What you do want to include is your LinkedIn profile URL, especially if you've got it looking all spick and span. Think of it as your online resume, giving them a more in-depth look at your professional life. And one last tip for this section, double, triple check that all your information is accurate. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity just because you had a typo in your email address. Alright, now that we've got the basics covered, it's time to reel them in with a killer professional summary. This section is your chance to make a strong first impression and grab the hiring manager's attention. Think of it as your 30-second elevator pitch, but in written form. You want to keep it concise and to the point, around 3 to 4 sentences max. Start by highlighting your professional background and years of experience in the industry. Then, sprinkle in those keywords we talked about earlier, showcasing your key skills and areas of expertise that align with the job description. But here's the key, don't just list your skills, quantify them. Instead of saying excellent communication skills, say something like proven track record of successfully leading team projects and delivering presentations to clients. See the difference? Numbers and specific examples pack a much bigger punch. Now we're getting to the meat of your resume, your work experience. This is where you really get to showcase your accomplishments and prove to employers why you're the perfect fit for the job. For each job you list, make sure to include the company name, your job title, and the dates of employment. But here's where most people go wrong. They simply list their job duties. Don't just tell me what you did, show me. Instead of writing generic bullet points, use that space to highlight your achievements and quantifiable results. Did you increase sales, improve efficiency, or exceed targets? Tell them. Numbers speak volumes, so use them to your advantage. For example, instead of saying manage social media accounts, say grew social media following by 20% in 6 months, resulting in a 10% increase in website traffic. See how much more impactful that is? You're not just telling them you did something, you're showing them the impact you made. Alright, let's talk about the education section. Now, this section might seem pretty straightforward, but there are still ways to optimize it to make it work harder for you. Start by listing your highest level of education first. including the degree you earned, the name of the institution, and your graduation date. If you've got multiple degrees, list them in reverse chronological order, with the most recent one first. Now, if you're fresh out of school, you might be tempted to include every single course, award, and extracurricular activity you participated in. But as you gain more work experience, you can start to trim it down to the most relevant information. The key here is to keep it concise and focus on the educational qualifications that are most relevant to the job you're applying for. If you have limited work experience, feel free to elaborate a bit more on relevant coursework or projects that demonstrate your skills. Alright, let's talk about the skills section, another prime opportunity to make your resume shine. This is where you get to showcase your unique talents and abilities that make you the ideal candidate. Now, I'm not talking about listing every single skill you can think of, from using a stapler to making a mean cup of coffee. Focus on the skills that are most relevant to the job you're applying for, the ones that really highlight your expertise. Think back to those keywords we talked about earlier. What specific skills are they looking for? Make sure those are front and center in your skills section. And don't just list them, categorize them. Group similar skills together under headings like technical skills, communication skills, or leadership skills. This makes it easier for hiring managers to quickly scan your resume and see what you bring to the table. Now we've covered the essential sections of your resume, but there are a few additional sections you might want to consider adding to really make it stand out. Think of these as bonus features that can give you an edge over the competition. One section you might want to include is certifications and licenses. If you have any industry-specific certifications, this is the place to showcase them. It shows employers that you're committed to professional development and have the necessary credentials for the job. Another section to consider is volunteer experience. While it might not seem directly related to the job, volunteering shows that you're a well-rounded individual who's passionate about making a difference. It can also highlight valuable skills like teamwork, leadership, and communication. And if you've got any publications or presentations under your belt, don't be shy about including a section for those as well. This is especially relevant for academic or research-oriented positions. Remember, the key here is to be strategic and only include the sections that are most relevant to the job you're applying for. Alright, we've talked a lot about the content of your resume, but let's not forget about the importance of presentation. Think of your resume as your online storefront. You want it to look professional, clean, and easy to navigate. First impressions matter, and a well-formatted resume shows that you pay attention to detail and take pride in your work. Stick to classic, professional fonts like Arial, Times New Roman, or Calibri. And keep the font size between 10 and 12 points for readability. Use standard 1-inch margins on all sides and maintain consistent spacing throughout. A good rule of thumb is to use single spacing between lines and double spacing between paragraphs. And don't be afraid to use bullet points. They break up the text and make your resume easier to skim. Now here's a crucial tip that many job seekers overlook. Tailor your resume for each job you apply for. I get it. It's tempting to just blast out the same generic resume to dozens of companies, but trust me, it shows. Remember how we talked about researching the company and the job description? This is where that research comes in handy. Take the time to customize your resume to highlight the skills and experience that are most relevant to each specific job. Look for keywords in the job description and make sure those are reflected in your resume. You can even tweak your professional summary to better align with the company's values or the specific requirements of the role. Think of it like this. You're essentially creating a marketing document that's tailored to a specific audience. The more relevant your resume is to the job, the more likely it is to grab the hiring manager's attention. Alright, you're almost there. You've put in the work, you've crafted a stellar resume, but before you hit that send button, there's one crucial step you don't want to skip: proofreading. Typos and grammatical errors are like red flags to hiring managers. They can make you look careless, unprofessional, and even lazy. So, take the time to carefully review your resume for any mistakes. Read it out loud, print it out, and read it on paper. Or even better, have a friend or family member give it a once-over. A fresh pair of eyes can catch errors that you might have missed. And don't forget to double-check that all the information is accurate, especially your contact information. The last thing you want is to miss out on an opportunity because of a silly typo. And there you have it, a step-by-step guide to writing a standout resume. Remember, your resume is often the first impression you make on potential employers, so take the time to make it the best it can be. Don't just list your duties, showcase your achievements, quantify your results, and highlight those keywords that make you shine. Think of your resume as an investment in your future. The more effort you put into crafting a compelling and tailored document, the better your chances of landing that dream job. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe to my channel for more career advice. Until next time, keep hustling and I'll see you in the next video.